Injury. Head coach Dirk Cutter saying that Winston's going to miss a couple of weeks of action because of the injury. The Jets face the Buccaneers in Week 10 with Ryan Fitzpatrick expected to get the start. With TrueCar, you can find out what other people in your area paid for the same car you're looking for, new or used. Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Broncos sticking with Brock Osweiler as their quarterback in Week 10 against New England. Jets wide receiver Jeremy Curley banned 4 games for violating the NFL's PED policy. Oral arguments over the preliminary injunction on Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game ban will be heard on Thursday. West Virginia extended the contract of men's hoops coach Bob Huggins through 2022.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set!
Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Good evening, Clemson, Tiger Nation, Gamecocks, Bulldogs, Yellow Jackets, and Seminoles peeking over the fence at the Hurry Up No Huddle Sports Talk Express. Lawton Swan, Lowell, the producer extraordinaire in the building, hanging out with you here, Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands, Fox Sports Radio 1019 and 1050 AM, Myrtle Beach, Conway. Good to have you all with us. A little sand in our shoes here as we emanate across the state of South Carolina. Here's how you can be a part of the program. 803-978-1832. We have never been caller-driven. We have always been caller-friendly. That's a part of being the People Show. We make sure that the people are a part of what we're doing here each and every day. You can hit us up on Twitter, where we are the most followed sports talk show in the state of South Carolina, at Clemson Sports. How easy is that? Like, even for the Twitter rookie monsters, even for those people that have no idea, they're like, I don't really understand what Twitter is. Well, you can find us on Twitter at Clemson Sports. That's not how rookies on Twitter talk, Lowell. Lowell, the producer, giving me the eyeball on that one. 803-978-1832. Again, that's the number. The text line brought to you by the Ocean Reef Resort in sunny, funny Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Text us, 803-450-0086, 803-450-0086. Guests always join us, of course, via the DNC Trucking and Transport guest line. Tigers survive, split the Wolf Pack in Raleigh-Durham, the state capital. 57,000 strong, loud and proud, trash throwing, towel stealing, laptop crying. I want to take a minute here. I just want to take a minute. Because for years and years and years, as a consumer of sports and sports entertainment and sporting events, there has been a fan base that has been at or near the top of the list of fan bases that you disdain and you don't want to go watch a game in their environment. Most people, myself included for years, have said that that was the Georgia Bulldogs. Some breaking news here into the studio. That is now NC State. Congratulations, Dave Doran. Congratulations to the Wolfpack Nation. Laptop gate, throwing stuff at the officials as they were leaving the field. By the way, again, I don't think there's ever been an officiated game that's been called perfectly. And I'm sure that there are plays somewhere along the way where you feel like the officials let you down. The illegal shift, though, fairly obvious. Not exactly what we call, it didn't take a lot of effort on the officials' part to dig that one up. If they call a holding penalty on that play and you're an NC State fan, yeah, there's some juice there. But let me tell you something. When you're down 10 with 3:40 left in the game and you're in field goal range with 3 timeouts, some would say the smart, heady play there, if you're a really good coach, is to go ahead and kick the field goal. And then put your defense out on the field down 7 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in 3 timeouts. That's what some people would do. Other people would juice the clock down to about 150 trying to score a touchdown and then wonder why late in the game when the clock's running you don't have enough chances to get enough opportunities to get more plays off. So, as I mentioned when Steve Spurrier was here in Columbia and he was upset about the enemies and the people that were out to get him, that were accusing him of, wanting to retire early, and then he retired 6 games into the season. And I love Coach Spurrier, read his book. I think he's hilarious. I think he's the next Lee Corso. But Steve Spurrier should have that conversation with a mirror. Dave Duran and the NC State fans, guess what? They should have the conversation with a mirror as well. Because I can go back to a time in my youth when I arrived at a matchup between the Clemson Tigers and NC State. And we were sitting in the Clemson section. We were amongst Tiger faithful. NC State was winning the game. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when my team's losing, especially when I was 18 or 19, when my team was losing, I think a lot of people take it to heart. A lot of people get angry and upset and disappointed. And so Clemson is losing to NC State. The fans are not exactly excited. We are sitting in the upper deck of Carter Finley Stadium. And all of a sudden, in the mid to late third quarter, with Clemson trailing, here comes the NC State band to play a little, NC State fight song for us, I guess, as the tractors come rolling along. I'm not sure what they were doing in the Clemson section. And their band essentially proceeded to taunt the Clemson fans at the game. Now, this is the band at NC State. Now, they claim that they make their way around the stadium. But this is a fan base for over 20 years. For over 20 years that I have found myself becoming less and less favorable in terms of my viewing of them. And with a head coach like Dave Doran, who a year ago, you might recall the incident with Wayne Gallman, then to see this issue and the fans doing what they were doing, it was a disappointing day, and I couldn't be happier that Clemson waltzed out of there with a 38-31 victory. Rarely do I come in to the show that shakes the Southland and feel compelled to talk about the opposing fans and how disappointed I was in their behavior, in their attitudes, in the things that they did. Dave Doran doesn't help. I'm not sure I dislike a coach any more than Dave Doran right now in conference. Lowell, the producer, was there for his birthday trip up to Raleigh-Durham. I would say Randy Edsall at some point kind of got me feeling a certain kind of way, like I feel right now about NC State. I think I felt this way about Maryland during Edsall's tenure there. Dave Doran came across he came across like a petulant child. You got beat in between the lines, and if you think that the laptop on the sidelines, which by the way is being used by one of Clemson's social media gurus, Andy, to cut up audio. By the way, full article, ClemsonSportsTalk.com, if you want to read about that. Come on, man. That's where you go. That's where you go. Ryan Finley plays an incredible game. You give Clemson for the second year in a row arguably everything they want. This is the defending, attacking national champions. By the way, real quick while it's on my mind, Kayvon Wallace, shout out to you. Timing impeccable, young man. And if that ball's up in the air about a half second longer, I believe Dorian O'Daniel's going to snag his third pick of the season on the road. I don't think he was going to return that one. By the way, Kayvon Wallace, when you do get a pick later in the game to ice it, get down, son. What are you doing? Although I have to admit, I did hear a story that there were some people that had Clemson minus 7.5 or whatever, and they were kind of rooting for the return. They were rooting for the Tigers to take that to the house and cover the old spread. Lowell, the producer, though, he's here today. Lowell, what's going on, my man?
Bada boom. Realest champs in the room. How you doing?
Man, you were there.
I got to say, I was also pulling for him to take that one to the house. I also took Clemson minus 7.5. I was really hoping Florida State would go for that fourth down when they kicked the field goal so that it could remain a 10-point game when Clemson got the stop. But, yeah, the environment.
Hold on. NC State.
What did I say?
You said Florida State.
I have a rear view mentality. I'm looking ahead to the next opponent.
Right.
Yeah. So let me explain this to you a little bit about the fan environment and why it got as crazy as it did. So throughout the game,
I will tell you this before you tell me your story. They were one of the first fan bases I ever knew that did the obnoxious, that's another
that's annoying.
Wolfpack first down.
That's super annoying.
You know what it tells me when you celebrate, and our fine feathered friends, the Gamecocks, I think they still do it.
They do. It's super annoying.
In my opinion, you're celebrating mediocrity. You're celebrating first downs. You're celebrating gaining 10 yards in a game where there's 100 yards on the field. And my disdain for it does not come from South Carolina's doing it. Clemson still plays the little bum ba da bum ba go. Clemson still plays it. You don't notice it all that much, but when the announcer is obnoxiously yelling, that's another Wolfpack first down, it is obnoxious and annoying.
Super obnoxious. And it happened a lot, which made it even more annoying. But, okay, so we were not in the Clemson section, by the way. So we were. Oh,
I'm sure this went swimmingly.
So we were surrounded by NC State fans. And the NC State fans in our immediate vicinity were super nice. Like, there were a couple times where, like, we kept going back and forth with the guy in front of us. In a nice way, we're talking about the game. And he would go like, we might have gotten away with one there, or trying to be as unbiased as possible.
Sure, that normally goes well until things turn.
He was cool all the way up until the end when they got the illegal shift, and that was the first time I saw him show any anger when he threw his hat down, and that was more of what are we doing than mad at the officials.
Good for him.
Yeah. He had 3 little kids with him, so I'm sure he was told he needs to be on his best behavior, first of all. But second of all, so this is building through the whole game, right? You get the catch that's overturned, which, by the way, I thought it was a catch.
I thought it was not. Ball shifted in his hand.
I thought there was a point in time when he had possession of the ball with a foot in bounds. And if they had called it incomplete on the field, I would have been cool with them going incomplete. But I think it was hard to go and look at that and completely overturn it with the angles that we got.
Well, what I saw though was after the feet were, he actually got one down, then the other, and then he goes out of bounds. And after he's out of bounds with the ball, it shifts in his hand.
I'm just gonna say, Clemson fans would be livid if that call went against them.
I don't know, because the first time I saw it live. I said to my wife, I said, that's an incomplete pass. He did not maintain possession. Then they rolled it back, and I watched it, and then just after he gets out of bounds that second time, it shifts, and then he's out of bounds. And that was my thought. And I'll be honest, as a matter of fact, I said to Erica, I said, you know what? And if that call was against Clemson, I said that would be the right call.
But I mean, you had that one.
Yeah, that was one.
Which could have gone either way.
It absolutely could have.
You had the clipping call, which pulled them back, which I wasn't so sure about that one either.
Okay, that's fair.
You had the illegal shift, which absolutely happened, but I can see the frustration. Especially since it was a huge play.
Well, you know what? It wasn't even one guy in motion. There were two guys in motion.
Yeah, there were. They were just out of sync. And it was absolutely the right call. It just came at a critical moment and was, I'm sure, very frustrating.
Well, and then the clock ran.
And it did. I thought it was supposed to, though.
It was.
Yeah.
But they didn't look like they knew that it was going to be running. They looked like they were expecting the clock to be sitting still.
There was another one. There was another one that went against State that I'm trying to think of. But, I mean, there were a couple pass interference calls, which, you know, I think there were a couple that were the right call. I think there were some that were iffy, which you're going to get throughout the game. But this is just all building up, right? It's just these calls are building up and building up and building up. And so by the end of the game, after that illegal shift call, I'm looking over to my dad and going, we got to get out of here as soon as the game ends because this is going to get ugly if they don't score here. It's going to get ugly in here, and we got to go. We got to get out as soon as possible. So you get the illegal shift, you get the interception. We're watching Wallace return the pick. I'm secretly hoping that he returns it for a touchdown. Part of me is going, get down. What are you doing? You're going to fumble. They're going to return it for a touchdown. The other part of me is going, go, get the touchdown, cover the spread. So
right.
So we're watching them go, and we get up and we just start leaving before like the game's over, before the celebration started. We're trying to get out as fast as possible.
Now wait, did you notice on the sidelines the NC State coach or whoever it was try to knock the ball out of the Kayvon Wallace's hands?
Yes.
You saw that?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
So we watched the end, and we're trying to get out as fast as possible, and we're leaving the stadium, and that's when look, we're walking up the steps, and the booing's already started. It started immediately. As soon as the pick happened, the booing started. That was the first time in a long time where I've been like, okay, this could get really dangerous. Maybe I should take off my Clemson shirt and kind of stuff it down in my pocket or something so that we can get out of here alive. It was scary. It was legitimately scary because that was an angry bunch of people after that ball game.
You know what those angry people can do? They can tune in to watch Clemson play in the ACC championship game in a couple of weekends. That's what they can do.
Don't jinx it now. Still got to beat Florida State.
Well, you do, but. But,
I mean, this thing, right or wrong, this thing was building up throughout the entire game. Just this sense of frustration for the fans. And there's multiple times we're going, it's going to get ugly, and we need to watch our back here because something bad could happen.
You're like, this is not good.
No, and we're in a sea of red. It's a sea of red, just red shirts, Wolfpack fans everywhere. And first time in a long time where I felt like we got to get out of here as fast as possible.
Not happy, Bob.
Not happy.
Not happy at all. You know who was happy, though? The Clemson Tiger fans that made their way up. They escaped with a victory. I got to admit, I think Dabo Swinney said it best in terms of this team growing up by comparison to where they were against Syracuse a couple of weeks ago where they trailed at the half. They came out, and again, I mean, field goal kick is still an issue. You feel a little bit like Alex Spence is just snake bit. He hits the one where they call a timeout, and you know, Don Munson says, well, you kind of wonder if that helps him or hurts him seeing it go through the uprights.
Funny story. I said because he had kind of snuck it in to the left, I said he's going to overcorrect and push it to the right. And sure enough.
Did he ever?
Yeah, you feel bad for him. Bad for him. But you know what? It worked out. It's okay.
Well, and the Tigers come away with a 7-point victory. William Qualkenbush set to join us here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. We'll talk with Qualk about the Tigers and the Wolfpack, get his thoughts on Clemson's 38-31 win. The Tigers moved to 8-1, 6-1 in conference play. Lowell's right. They haven't secured it yet. They still got to beat FSU. NC State's also got to run the table now as well. But nonetheless, the Clemson Tigers in control after control, alt, and deleting the Wolfpack this past weekend. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Linda McMahon, head of the U.S. Small Business Administration. As we enter the holiday shopping season, I encourage you to join me in celebrating Small Business Saturday on November 25th. That's the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. Support the small businesses that make your community unique. Shop at your favorite local stores or discover new ones. Join me by getting out there to shop small on November 25th, Small Business Saturday.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place, just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 254 Stop.
Brakes for less.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Does your water have a bad taste and odor, high content of chlorinating chemicals, and hardness? Then call the plumbing pros at Metz Plumbing for a free water analysis. Metz Plumbing is the exclusive dealer for Connecticut Water Systems, the best drinking water system in the world.
732-DRIP. Your shot at $1,000 now. Text the keyword cash to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeart Radio info. Standard data and message rates apply. That's cash to 200-200.
Weeknights, 6 to 8 p.m., Fox Sports Radio 1400, Fox Sports Radio 1019, 1050 a.m., Myrtle Beach, Conway as well. This guy, though, William Qualkenbush on Twitter at Qualt Talk, can be heard from 9 to noon. No. They moved him. Noon to 3. Sorry, Qualk. Noon to 3 on 105.5 The Roar in the Upstate. Out of bounds with Qualk and Kelly. Qualk, what's going on, bud?
Man, I know it's tough. Daylight saving time messed me up too, Swanee. So you're off the hook.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I don't know, man. You were just kind of that 9. It was always easy to say 9 to noon. Now I got to say 12 to 3. I'm still getting used to it, even though you've been in that slot now. What, 6-8 months, something like that?
Yeah, we've been there since the summer. That's okay. I actually hear from a lot of people who say they wish I was still in the mornings because of one reason or another. That's a little bit odd, but I like the later alarm.
Yeah,
that's a big plus there, buddy.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I think people like to think of you as their morning coffee. Maybe you kind of got people going, send them out to their day. So
hey, that's like the worst black coffee you can have. Find some new coffee if that's the case.
All right, Qualt. Listen, let's talk a little bit about this Clemson victory over NC State this past weekend, 38-31. Lots of scoring. One of those back and forth games, but for Clemson, the past 2 times that they had yielded touchdowns on opening drives for their opponents, it was Syracuse and it was Pitt. Pretty big for Clemson to come back and figure out a way to win this matchup on the road.
It really was, and it didn't feel like a come-from-behind victory as much. I don't know what that is, probably because you assume if Clemson gives up a touchdown, they're going to come right back. There was a time when if Clemson was down 7-0 or 10-0 or 14-0 or whatever, that the game was over, and maybe that's just my thought process. But, I heard someone say today it was a come-from-behind victory, and I thought, wow, it was. And part of that, too, is that for a large portion of the game, particularly in the second half, Clemson was ahead, and then it was, 3 points and then 10 points and then 7 points, and they never really trailed down the stretch. But,
yeah.
I mean, you're exactly right. The adjustments, I think you got to give Brent Venables a lot of credit because NC State was scheming them up there in the first half. They did some things to isolate one-on-one that really gave Clemson some problems. I watched it again this morning, and one of the things they did in the first half and not much in the second half, and I really don't know why they stopped, is they would go from a 3-wide side with a 1 on the other side, and they would motion a man over and balance the formation, and then basically just throw a slant to whoever was matched up with a linebacker that the motion created the matchup. I thought it was brilliant. They probably did it a half dozen times. Clemson adjusted, balanced out the defense, put more DBs down in the box. I think they had more safeties over there as opposed to linebackers. And it became less of a if this, then this for the NC State offense. I think that's why you saw Ryan Finley kind of cool off a little bit. And you got to give Clemson a lot of credit offensively, too. The running backs themselves didn't run the ball great. I think they averaged like 3.4-something yards per carry. But Kelly Bryant averaged 4.4 yards a carry. He wasn't his best throwing the ball, but he made plays with his legs. And then you had the couple, big Hunter Renfro catches. Deion Kane, other than a couple deep balls maybe he should have had, was brilliant particularly on third downs. By the way, this game was won on third downs. Clemson dominated third downs. Even as NC State was dominating the game, they dominated first and second down. But if Clemson got them on the third down, they were getting off the field pretty well. So I would say in all aspects, particularly from an adjustment and kind of get over the hump in a road game that was the other team's Super Bowl, I thought it was a huge step and a huge win for the Tigers.
Talk about Hunter Renfro. I mean, he's my unsung hero. That 4th and 5 play he makes, if you're ever going to teach a kid, like you're talking to a young child about not giving up and continuing to fight, that video of him on that 4th and 5 reception, it would be just a perfect, 12-second clip to show somebody.
You know what's funny is his personality, kind of his. I'm trying to think, like his DNA is just set up in such a unique way. Like he covers the pooch kick, right? And the ball's rolling down inside the 1, and he's just kind of la-di-da, letting it roll back to about the 2-inch
right.
line. I mean, with no care in the world.
I'm thinking that thing hops over your foot. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, or you forget where you are. I mean, he's so self-assured and so confident that he can make that play, which I would have been jacked if I caught a ball in front of the sticks and had to shake a guy off and it made another guy miss and got like 12 yards on 3rd and 6 or 4th and 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I would have been jacked. You'd have had to cart me off the field. I'd have had some kind of hernia or something celebrating that. He just flips the ball to the ref like it's no big deal. I just think his approach to life is kind of laid back, and I think it works so well that he's just trying to do his job. 4th and 5, if he's just got to get 5 yards, he gets 5 yards, and it's just back to business as usual. He makes those plays so frequently that everybody knows he's getting the ball in those situations, and he continues to deliver somehow, some way. It truly is remarkable.
On Twitter, he's at Qualt Talk. You can head over there and follow him right now. Let's talk about another guy that's made some plays. This time he didn't drop the ball early. How about Ray McCloud channeling his inner Deion Sanders, wearing 21, playing in the secondary, doing everything that he could to help his team out. But, man, that punt return to tie the game up at 7 was a big momentum boost for Clemson.
Man, I don't know if 34 has sentimental value, but that thing ought to be burned. Just to don't give him access to it. Don't let him wear it again. Don't let him touch it or think about it again. Stay in 21 because everything that we've wanted Ray McCloud to be on a consistent basis, he was, including a lockdown corner at times on the last drive. How about that last drive, by the way, Swanee, where Clemson was running a lot of two-man, and Davos Sweeney even said after the game, he said, we had a lot of two-man calls. I'm looking at Brent going, gosh, can we help our guys out just a little bit? Because you got Amir Trapp and Ray McCloud up on the top of your screen as you're watching on TV that are one-on-one with 6'3 receivers, a walk-on and a wide receiver on the last drive in a touchdown game where all the momentum in the building seems to be going against you. You got to credit Ray McCloud for making some adjustments on the fly and being able to cover well down the stretch where Ryan Finley quit going to that side, and instead he had to work back to the other side of the field where Trayvon Mullen and Ryan Carter were. And, of course, the punt return, one of the best plays you'll see in the country all year. He'd kind of been close. We've even talked about him in the press box, how close he's been from time to time. And for him to be able to take the deep kick and be able to make something happen, breaking half a dozen tackles or whatever, truly a game-changing moment, because without that, it's 21-10, and NC State's dominating the game at half. Instead, it feels like NC State maybe missed an opportunity to seize control because, by the way, 3 losses, 3 non-offensive touchdowns for NC State. That's a big indicator in their losses this year. Ray McLeod made it happen early for Clemson.
Qualt, we've got about a minute, and I'm sure you could talk for 10 on this. Your thoughts on Dave Doran's comments after the game?
Oh, man, what a piece of work that guy is. That's the characteristic equivalent of, like, bless your heart. This is a guy that, last year didn't give Clemson any credit. This year, I mean, he acts like, on the 89-yard run for Tavian Fisher, they asked him about that. He says, we misfit the call and we missed the tackle. Well, how about your guys got busted up? How about your defensive coordinator called a corner blitz? The safety had to drop down to the cornerback, and there was nobody in the middle of the field. How about there was a blocker where your guy was supposed to be that put him on the ground? How about your guys weren't good enough, and the offensive call beat your defensive call on that play, and he gave up 89 yards? This guy refuses to give the other team any credit whatsoever. He thinks he's God's gift to coaching, God's gift to the universe. He blames laptops and offsides and pass interference and whatever. How about you're not good enough, Dave? How about your team's not good enough to win a game like that? You're incapable. You're incompetent down the stretch. Your cheeks get tight right there, if you know what I'm saying, Swanee, at the end of the game. You're not good enough, and you never will be.
Qualt, I love it, man. Thanks for the call, man. Enjoyed having you on the show. That may be the most epic.
Get that off my chest, man.
All right, man. Be good. Listen to Qualt each and every day. 105.5 The Roar from noon to 3. Out of bounds with Qualt and Kelly. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
When a community grows, its hospital should grow too. And that's just what we're doing at Lexington Medical Center. We recently launched the largest hospital expansion project in South Carolina history. Our new 10-story patient tower will help us take better care of patients, including the tiniest infants who need special attention. It will also make room for the growing number of patients who need surgery and intensive care. At Lexington Medical Center, our mission to serve our community never wavers. We're here when you need us today, and we'll be there when you need us tomorrow.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
Now today's forecast from the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center.
Tonight the clouds will thicken and the lows will dip down to the mid-60s, so pretty warm. Tomorrow, on and off showers. Some of them will be heavy. And again, though, it will be a warm day, highs upper 70s. For Channel 25, ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation. Join the T.J. Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more.
You've heard about podcasts, but maybe you didn't know where to start. iHeartRadio is making podcast listening easy. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and tap podcasts. There you'll find hand-picked collections of our favorite podcasts to help you get started. The biggest names in podcasting, like the Bill Simmons Podcast, The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and so many more. All available for free. Now, your favorite radio app can be your favorite podcast app. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
That's what I'm talking about. A little positive K here on the show that shakes the Southland. Lawton Swan, Lola, producer. Lowell. Ha! Qualk. I think, is that officially what you call going in on somebody when you dig in on them like that? I'm pretty sure that's what Qualk just did. I think he went in on Dave Doran.
Qualking?
Is that
what we're going to call it? That's what we should call it.
Yeah, when you go in on somebody that's qualking. Because I think he nailed it. And I think that is the difference. I think that's part of the difference in where Clemson is today and where they've been in the past. And I really believe this. And I know South Carolina fans, you don't like Dabo Swinney. You haven't liked him for a while, ever since you go back to the rant that he had, which seems now eons ago. I mean, in all honesty.
It was eons ago.
I mean, it really was. It really was. I'm pretty sure JT Barrett was a freshman. Just to tell you how long ago it was, JT Barrett was a freshman. That may be accurate. But in retrospect, going back and thinking about that, I know a lot of South Carolina fans don't still like Dabo Swinney. And that's fine. You don't have to like Dabo Swinney. Clemson fans, you don't have to like Will Muschamp. I personally, I like Steve Spurrier. There are things about Steve Spurrier I didn't like, things he said that I didn't like, but I always kind of found him funny, humorous. I think he had some bad timing. I think Dabo Swinney's had bad timing. I think Dave Doran's a jerk. There you go. Flat out. And I think that's the difference. And I think great coaches and coaches who win a lot of games give credit to their opponents. I think there is a self-reflection that coaches have to have in order to get better. I think that failure is not final. And being willing to accept failure and grow from it only helps you get better. You know what I mean? Maybe reverse that. Success, perhaps, is not final, and failure is not fatal. But when you go back and fail to recognize the successes of your opponent, I think you are missing part of the battle. And I'm going to take a minute here, and I'm going to be critical of one of our guests, Tommy Bowden. When Tommy Bowden was at Clemson, I don't think I ever saw the opponent score on the Tigers on the Tommy Bowden show on Sunday. And I'll be honest, I don't watch Dabo's show, so I have no idea if Dabo shows it or not. And maybe this is just a small thing and I'm a moron, and that's fine too. Let me know, 803-978-1832. It wouldn't be the first time that I've been called a moron. I watched Clemson get blistered by Florida State one year, like 57-0, lol. And I watched the Dabo Swinney show, or excuse me, the Tommy Bowden show. The final score was 0-0. It was a tie. We got beat 57-0, and on the coach's show, you would have thought we had to go to extra frames. Winter penalty kicks coming, Coach. It was 0-0 by what I saw on on the Coaches Show. I think being willing to recognize your flaws and the strengths of your opponent is a characteristic that Dave Doeren has not shown, at least in these games against Clemson. And I'm sure he was frustrated with the loss, and I understand that. But at some point, as the face of a franchise and as the face of a program, you have to be bigger than, I want that laptop investigated. I'd like to know what it was doing over there on the sidelines. When the dude on the sidelines is cutting up video so Clemson can post to what, by the way, we put up an article on Friday on ClemsonSportsTalk.com, is absolutely the best social media department in the land. Lowell, did you happen to see our post about Clemson's social media department?
I did.
Am I right? I mean, they took a story from Sports Illustrated, writing an article several years ago about the Houston Astros winning the World Series in 2014, and made it into how they announced what uniforms, because good guys wear white, Clemson was going to be wearing in the matchup against NC State, and it looked beautiful. And on top of that, they also made another bold prediction that Clemson would be wearing purple, Lowell, on the 18th of November against the Citadel. So, again, to just buy into, oh, well, there's a laptop, Clemson must be cheating, and I'd like to know why several people are over there looking at it. Well, that's how you cut up film for social media, coach. And, of course, the ACC saying nothing to see here, move along. But Dave Doeren, I think, needs to have, this is a guy that was on the hot seat before the season. This is a guy that lost to South Carolina 35-28 and was on an extremely hot seat. And I got to tell you, he may have felt secure with where he is or where he was when they were riding high and potentially going to play for the ACC championship, which they still could. Clemson would have to lose. They would have to win out. But can I present a scenario, Lowell? And it's going to be a rough scenario to believe that it could happen. But based on the way they've been playing, would you give Boston College a chance to beat NC State this weekend at home?
Yes.
Would you give Wake Forest a chance to beat NC State at home?
Yes.
I wouldn't give North Carolina a chance, but I know rivalry games are crazy.
Well, Boston College has given NC State fits for years and years now. So I would not be shocked at all if BC beat them.
So can I throw out a scenario? I felt like Dave Doeren, the way he was, and again, I'll use the term petulant at the end of that game. I think that there was I think there's an air of confidence in him that he has in his job security right now. Can I throw a scenario at you? He could finish 0-5 in his final 5 games this year.
Ooh.
They lost to Notre Dame. They lost to Clemson. You said it. They could lose very easily to Boston College. They could lose to Wake Forest. Now, I don't think they'll lose to North Carolina. But if they go into that North Carolina game riding a 4-game losing streak, would you agree all bets are off? Anything can happen.
Yeah.
A broken team with a 4-game losing streak, and then to get beat by the worst team in the conference, and you go 0-5 to close it out.
Doeren might be on his way out.
The storyline shifts significantly in Raleigh. We'll find out more here about how we did this past weekend with Lowell when we return on Fox Sports Radio 1400, Fox Sports Radio 1019 at 10:50 a.m.
Heading into the holidays, everyone could use a little extra cash in hand.
And what would you like?
So we're giving you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand 16 times every weekday. Just listen to win $1,000 every hour. Weekdays between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Radio 1400.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripessports.com.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
This is Bob. Bob is going to shop for a diamond. Bob finds a diamond online that's a few $100s cheaper than a local store. Bob is so happy he's saved himself some money. This is Mary.
Hello.
Mary's dating Bob. Bob comes over to Mary's house and pops the question. Mary squeals.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening.
And then says,
Wait, what's wrong with this diamond? It's yellow and has spots.
Bob is shocked. Mary runs away, never to be seen with Bob again. The moral to this story, don't be Bob. When you want the right diamond to pop the question for the love of your life, shop Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse. Our consultants are trained to help you through the diamond buying process. They'll educate you so you can make the most important jewelry purchase of your life with confidence. Our goal is for you to find the perfect diamond that she'll cherish forever. And that's how you make sure your story has a happily ever after ending. Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse, for life's every moment. Don't be Bob.
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app.
Oh, there he is, my man Tom Petty doing work here on the show that shakes the Southland. 803-978-1832. Clemson wins it 38-31. The Tigers move to 8-1 on the season, 6-1 in conference play. Florida State on the horizon. A game that I can assure you the ACC thought was going to be an epic matchup for all the marbles in the Atlantic Division. Instead, last weekend may have been the weekend that decided the 2 divisions, as Miami, a little bit of a shocking result. Our Lowell, the producer extraordinaire, gives you his Lowell's locks of the weekend. Lowell, you went old-fashioned unlocks on people this past weekend. What'd you make of that matchup between Virginia Tech and Miami? I got to admit, I was a little bit surprised at the outcome.
That's shocking. It's shocking. I mean, you think about the way Miami has won football games this year. It's been just by the skin of their teeth. You think of that Florida State game, that Georgia Tech game, and then you have Virginia Tech rolling into town. Yeah, it's on the road, but that doesn't really mean anything when it's Miami. You would think Justin Fuente and that Virginia Tech offense would get it going. Josh Jackson had nothing against the Miami defense.
28-10. A little bit of a statement game for Miami. They're an undervalued team right now, undefeated in college football.
And going to be really interesting this weekend to watch that Miami front go against Notre Dame's run game. Game day, I believe, is already announced they're going to be there. Yeah. Undefeated Miami, 1-loss Notre Dame. It's like we're back in the 80s.
Feels like it. And I'll tell you what, that's another game that could play heavily into the college football playoff rankings, and there's a lot going on. I mean, of course, if we're going to talk about games you didn't see going the way they went, Iowa dismantling Ohio State 55-24.
Oh, gosh.
I do recall, though, the last time I saw Ohio State get beat by 31. If I think back just a little bit. Yep, there it is. Fiesta Bowl. Clemson, 31, Ohio State, nothing. Which would you rather put up? I asked somebody this, a Tiger fan that was talking to me this morning. Which would you rather do? Beat Ohio State 31-0 or 55-24?
31-0. I want the goose egg.
You have to admit, though, somewhere deep inside your gut, ringing up 55 on them feels pretty good, too.
Oh, it has to for Iowa because they're a team that scores like 4 points a game.
Iowa, I think, has only beaten them once ever until this past weekend. Now twice ever. But it was the defining case for my belief that the Big Ten is not all that it's cracked up to be. I said in an article that I wrote last week on Clemson Sports Talk, matter of fact, a week ago today, I was predicting how the college football playoff would go, and I thought that they would overvalue Ohio State. I thought that they would overvalue Wisconsin, who I said I didn't trust them as far as I could throw them. You go back and look at the Big Ten right now. Who are the teams, Lowell? Who do you trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Who do you trust? You trust Michigan, Lowell? You trust Ohio State? Do you really trust Penn State? By the way, if I'm going to jump on Doran for doing the wrong thing, and if I'm going to jump on James Franklin for doing the wrong thing, then doggone it, I'm man enough to stand in here and tell you kudos to James Franklin for running down his players, and turning them and their teammates around to go shake hands with the Michigan players. What did the final rain delay end up being for that game? 4 hours and something?
3.5 hours.
That's insanity. I saw fans just laid out all over the stadium, just trying to find anywhere to hang out and do anything. But you got to give him credit, right? You got to give James Franklin credit for turning this team around and making them go shake hands. You know what I recognized? You know what I recognized in that moment? Did you hear what James Franklin said after the game? Did you hear what he said after the game? You win with class and you lose with class.
Did he really say that?
Absolutely he did. I heard another coach say that a couple of years ago down on the fields at Coral Gables, Florida against the Miami Hurricanes in a 58-0 shelling of the Hurricanes, where Dabo Swinney didn't even take the team into the locker room to rip them about the way that they were acting and behaving and the way that they were carrying themselves. You know, that Clemson Tiger team went on to go undefeated the rest of the regular season into the national championship. They did come up a little short against Alabama. But I saw some photos yesterday of Deshaun Watson in the locker room after that first national championship game. And I saw photos of other players like Jim Brown, not the Hall of Famer Jim Brown, Clemson. This is Jim Brown and others coming off the field after that after that loss to Alabama. And you know what? I couldn't tell that Clemson had gotten beat. Deshaun Watson in the locker room after the game, go find photos of him. He looks confident. He looks poised. He looks ready to come back for another run. And you know what he did a year later? Well, I'll tell you how the story ends. The Golden Scepter's in Tiger Town. You win with class, you lose with class. And what I heard from James Franklin this weekend in saying we're going to win with class and we're going to lose with class says to me he gets it. Now, I didn't think he got it when he called a timeout against Georgia State, especially given the fact that they had, partnered with Georgia State earlier this year. Little things like that I didn't get. And I said, what are you doing, James Franklin? Like I was rooting actively against him. All it takes is one good deed, Lowell. One good deed can turn how people think, feel, and respect you. If Dave Doran had come out after that game and said, you know what, we're not worried about a laptop on Clemson's sidelines. We're not worried about the officials. We're worried about doing what we've got to do better to knock off a great team like Clemson. Do you know how you'd feel about him today? You go, man, this is a guy that's got together. This is a guy that's going to lead his team to championships. This is a guy that's eventually going to deliver something to Raleigh. The guy they got now, he's too immature to win. He's too immature to deliver championships to Raleigh. He's got growing up to do. Dabo Swinney had growing up to do in 2009 and 2010. He absolutely did. I mean, there's a reason people called him a cheerleader, rah-rah head coach. He did a lot of that. And maybe too much of it in some people's opinions, even those in Tiger Town. Probably if Dabo Swinney went back and looked at himself, he would say the same thing. Because you know what he's willing to do? He's willing to look in the mirror. He's willing to see his flaws. He's willing to work on them. I thought James Franklin did that on Saturday for Penn State. If you're a Nittany Lion fan, if you don't respect your coach more today, and if you aren't disappointed in some of his antics earlier in the year, then you need to take a look in the mirror. Because where you should be today, and I don't tell people where they need to be or where they should be all that often, but where you should be today if you're a Penn State fan is proud of your coach for what he did this weekend and still disappointed in what he's done in other games this season. But feel good about the fact that he's trending in the right direction in terms of his growth as a leader. Hour 2 on the flip side.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Have you been thinking about sprucing up your yard, debating between pine straw or mulch? Call my friends at Carolina Turfgrass to get your yard looking as great as mine right now. I chose to go with pine straw this year, and it looks incredible. Carolina Turfgrass is conveniently located at 5400 Augusta Road in Lexington, and if you need your order delivered, they can take care of that too. In addition, Carolina Turfgrass carries a wide variety of turfs, including Centipede and Bermuda. For unmatched quality and service, call Carolina Turfgrass, 446-6525. Look for Carolina Turfgrass on Highway 1 in Lexington.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to ditch the car and start rollerblading to work.
I look ridiculous.
You look ridiculous!
You don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your organs on the black market.
Lie back. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that hurts. You don't need to rent out your apartment to drifters.
I made a fire with the wood in your bedroom.
That's my dresser!
And your closet door.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You can save money and help the environment without taking a vow of poverty. How does that work?
Well, by choosing Energy Star qualified lighting for your home. When you do, you'll become part of a growing national movement. Just go to EnergyStar.gov and click on Take the Change a Light pledge. It takes only a few short seconds for you to have a long-term impact. Brighten your environmental future. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving supports victims of drunk driving, drug driving, and underage drinking at no charge. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports Trending now.
Monday Night Football comes up at the bottom of the hour with the Lions and Packers playing at 8:30 Eastern Time. It wraps up Week 9. Looking ahead to Week 10, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be shorthanded as they face the New York Jets. Jameis Winston's going to miss a couple of weeks because of a shoulder injury, while Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans has been suspended one game for violating the NFL's unnecessary roughness and unsportsmanlike conduct rules for pushing Marshawn Lattimore of the Saints in the back yesterday during their game in New Orleans. With TrueCar, you can find out what other people in your area paid for the same car you're looking for, new or used. Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Yankee slugger Aaron Judge has been named a finalist for the American League's Most Valuable Player Award. He's joined as a finalist by Astros second baseman Jose Altuve and Indians second baseman Jose Ramirez. Judge is also a finalist for the AL Rookie of the Year award. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set,
Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, Lowell the producer, having a good time, hanging out with you, talking a little CFB, a little college football. Tomorrow, the college football playoff rankings will be announced right now, right in the middle of our show. So we'll have it for you. Clemson sitting there at number 4, behind Notre Dame at 3. Alabama at 2, Georgia at number 1. Clemson, with the losses of Oklahoma and some other movement in the polls, is now sitting at number 4 in both the AP and the coaches poll. We could talk a lot about polls tomorrow for sure. Kind of feel like that's the one shift that happens after the college football playoff rankings come out. You get a chance to take more of the weekend in before you get into the polls. But I will tell you the Tigers are 4th in the AP and the coaches poll right now. Probably about right. Pretty good resume, though, for the Tigers. 3 top 20 wins for Clemson for the first time since 1950 on the road. Beating Louisville, beating Virginia Tech, and then beating NC State. Lowell, though, it wasn't, I guess you would say, an upset by any means for Clemson to go up and win. As a matter of fact, the spread on that game between Clemson and NC State continued to expand up to game time. A little bit of a surprise there. It was an interesting movement by the polls.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe Nyheim Hines wasn't going to play or if some news had broken, because that spread kept climbing all the way up until kick. It started at, 7.5? It got all the way up to at least 9.5.
Yeah, no, it just kept moving. And when you hear that, you often think, man, what do the bookies know? What does Vegas, what do they know?
And Clemson was up 10 in the fourth quarter.
Take that for data.
That's true. That's very true. But, Lowell, a new segment here that we're cranking up for the back half of the college football slate. Sadly, Lowell, I hate to tell you this. We're 9 games in.
Yep. 3 games left.
3 regular season games left. Now,
and unfortunately, we're not getting the big game we thought we were going to get this weekend.
No, we're not. Florida State comes in 3-5, 3-4 in ACC play.
Not great, Bob.
Not at all. But I will say this. If you get to the championship game, right? If you get to the national championship, there are, 6 games left? So essentially half a season remaining if you can get to the title game. If not, less than half a season.
Which Clemson has done for the past 2 years, so that's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of coverage for the folks over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. But we've got a new segment that we're going to dive into, and it's appropriate. It's going to be appropriately titled
Upset City! Upset City!
Taking a look back at some of the big upsets that took place in the weekend that was, as we've made our way towards a second rendition of the college football playoff rankings. By the way, every week on ClemsonSportsTalk.com, we will have not only the rankings, but we're going to have the progression of the college football playoff polls. I think that's something that's often missed on websites. We're going to make sure you can see it all right there, so you can see how these teams move through in 2017. That, again, on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. All right, Lowell, our first
Upset City! Upset City!
of the weekend is
the biggest one, Iowa over Ohio State, 55-24. Look, I don't know that Iowa's ever scored 55 points in its program's history in a single game before.
I thought you were going to say combined in their history.
Probably combined.
Okay.
Iowa is not known for playing offense. Would you agree?
That's a fair statement. What is Iowa known for? Corn?
I think that's Nebraska.
Ethanol.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay. I got to look it up. Go on.
Their quarterback, Stanley, 20 for 31, 226 yards, 5 touchdowns through the air for Iowa. 5. This is the team that runs the football. They had 1 rushing touchdown. Now, they did carry it 38 times for 243 yards and a touchdown. Ohio State just not able to stop anything Iowa was doing the entire time. J.T. Barrett, after his phenomenal game against Penn State, comes back and goes 18 for 34, 208 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Ended up with a QBR of 33.2. Ohio State's vaunted defensive front, though, just got manhandled by Iowa.
Would you like to know what they say Iowa is known for?
Sure.
Corn.
Huh. I would have thought that would be Nebraska mostly.
Corn and agricultural products. Would you like to know some famous people from Iowa?
Sure.
Well, Pilgrim, John Wayne. Is that how John Wayne talks?
Sure.
How about Johnny Carson?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Johnny Carson. It's kind of a short list of famous people from there. Glenn Miller from the big band era.
Don't know him.
You would know some of his songs. You would know some Glenn Miller music.
Is this a Tom Petty situation?
Yes. It is absolutely a Tom Petty situation. I believe Glenn Miller may have played the Chattanooga Choo-Choo. Not familiar?
I am not.
Okay, we'll get some Glenn Miller during the break. We'll
Okay.
spare the people. Lowell, do we have another?
Upset City! Upset City!
Oh, well, let's stay in the Big Ten because the Big Ten had a fantastic weekend. They have pretty much cannibalized themselves out of the playoff unless Wisconsin can win out. And I'll be honest, Wisconsin is not winning out because if they get to the Big Ten championship, they aren't winning it. So
fair enough.
The Big Ten has kind of cannibalized themselves out of the playoff right now. Michigan State knocks off Penn State 27-24 on a last-second field goal. Saquon Barkley, the fantastic running back, 14 carries for just 63 yards, and 36 of them came on 1 run. Penn State not able to get it done on the ground. Trace McSorley goes 26 for 47, 381 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. Michigan State, meanwhile, 33 of 56, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick through the air. L.J. Scott led the way on the ground, 14 carries, 43 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
But that stifling defense for Michigan State, they really shut down Penn State.
With 2 weeks in a row with Saquon Barkley. And I know he had the big kick return against Ohio State, but then Penn State losing twice. I thought about this over the weekend. One, obviously, has the Heisman frontrunner shifted? I think it probably has. It's probably now Baker Mayfield. Gah. And you know what else I thought? Deshaun Watson just picked the wrong years to be in college. If Deshaun Watson was at Clemson this season, it's not a race. You could award the thing today. Lamar Jackson's not having his magical season. They're at the bottom of the ACC. For crying out loud, Watson just picked a bad couple of years to be who he was. Some would say he deserved to win it. I tend to agree. Think he's better than Derrick Henry. I think he's better than Lamar Jackson. He was having the best start any rookie quarterback's ever had in the NFL. Newsflash, there have been some pretty good quarterbacks come through the NFL. He was off to a better start than any of those guys ever. Now down with the knee injury. Hate to see that. They do hope his timetable, though, for recovery is quick. Lowell, any more?
Upset City! Upset City!
That's going to get old.
Let's move to the Big 12. Iowa State, who has been on a roll.
Yeah.
They knocked off Oklahoma as 31-point underdogs. They beat TCU.
Yeah, they did.
Last week, completely shut them down defensively.
They almost shook up that entire conference.
And then they go on the road to unranked West Virginia as the number 15 team in the country, and they lose 20-16. Will Grier for West Virginia. Great performance from him, 20 of 25, 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Getting it done on the ground, though. Crawford, running back for West Virginia, 25 carries, 102 yards.
Right.
Controlling it on the ground. Iowa State, I guess they just get up for the Monsters. I don't know how to explain this.
Did they play before or after Iowa? They may have been intimidated. That's different conferences, but nonetheless, same state. Hey, let me ask you this.
Yes.
How do you think Florida fans feel watching Will Grier up at West Virginia spin the pill?
Not great.
That's what I figured.
How many? I'm gonna go calculate this actually. How many quarterbacks have left Florida's program over the past 5 years? It's at least 4.
Well,
and started at other schools.
Yeah,
Let me put it that way.
Yeah, no, I don't know that, but I will say this. Is Florida in your little list over there? Are they listed as an upset?
No, they're not. But they're listed in my disaster category.
Would Florida State and Florida just be better off not playing each other this year?
I'm not sure who I'm going to take in that game.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, seriously, most of the time when you say this, because these are two vaunted clubs at the top of their game, and it could go either way. National championship implications on the line.
And this week, instead, Florida State's an 18-point underdog, and Florida is a 10-point underdog to South Carolina. When has Florida ever been a double-digit underdog to South Carolina? I can't think of a time.
When is the state of South Carolina a combined 28-point favorite over Florida and Florida State? You know who's the big winner of what's going on right now in the state of Florida? Miami. Maybe Central Florida, too. Maybe. But Miami, Mark Richt's got to be loving this. Turmoil everywhere. And as you were telling me earlier, I haven't heard this, but Texas A&M may be interested in a little Jimbo action. Now that's interesting news. All right, I'm going to spare the people. Do we have another upset? Because I don't know if anybody can handle another.
Upset City! Upset City!
Oh, I love it. I love it. This one's a little bit less of an upset, but it is an upset in terms of ranking. Washington State takes down Stanford 24-21 at home. Washington State, big bounce back this week. They were number 25. Stanford was number 21. Bryce Love, my guy who I've been touting all year.
Talking about my guy.
The running backs, the running back Heisman hopes took a bit of a hit. Bryce Love, 16 carries for just 69 yards and a touchdown. And if Bryce Love ain't going, the Stanford offense ain't going. So there's your last upset of the week.
Let me ask you this. What did you make of Alabama's 24-10 win over LSU? A little pedestrian.
I will be honest with you. I don't know that I would call it pedestrian because I think that gives them a little bit of an out, like maybe they came out flat. I don't think that's the case. I think they went up against a team for the first time this year that could match them in the trenches talent-wise. And I think you saw Alabama get pushed around a little bit in the trenches. That was very interesting to watch. Now, look, LSU couldn't do anything offensively.
Right.
And we knew that was probably going to be the case. But defensively, they got after Alabama. And I'm very intrigued now.
Do you know who's got a better defensive line than LSU?
Auburn.
Yeah, they do.
Georgia in the SEC championship. I'm very intrigued by a couple of these matchups down the stretch. Heck, Mississippi State, their athleticism on defense could give Alabama some trouble.
I came out of that game this past weekend. Alabama and LSU. And I thought to myself, what I believed all season about Alabama's schedule is real. That they haven't really been tested. And I know winning by 14 points is a 2-touchdown win, okay? I get that. You should never be dismissive of a 2-touchdown victory. But it did not feel like Alabama was nearly the force that they've looked like throughout the year. And it almost made me go, if LSU had an offense, and I mean this in the greatest respect I can give Alabama, I don't think that LSU was stifled because Alabama's got a defense that stifles you. I think LSU was stifled because they are limited offensively. I think that's two totally different things. I think if Alabama had played against a team that could score and play solid defense, they would have been in trouble against LSU.
I went back in my head, because I think a lot of people kind of dismiss that Alabama-Texas A&M game as kind of a fluky thing. Alabama was up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and blah, blah, blah. But A&M, they lead the SEC in sacks. They have a good defensive line. They also got after Alabama's offense in that game. The final score of that game was 27-19. Texas A&M had a little more offense than LSU did, but they just didn't have enough. But they were able to compete in the trenches with Alabama. I think there are some real weak spots for Alabama offensively.
I think Alabama and Clemson are very similar. I believe that. I think the difference in the two, in my opinion, right now, in terms of their offenses, is this. I believe Kelly Bryant is a better option at quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I believe that. If you gave me the choice to take one of those two guys into that game as my quarterback, I would take Kelly Bryant. As limited as Kelly Bryant is in the downfield passing game, in my opinion, he's better than Jalen Hurts. And he's faster than Jalen Hurts.
And even worse than, Alabama won that game, but they got some bad news coming out of it.
Lost their start.
Lost two important linebackers, Sean Deion Hamilton and Mac Wilson.
That's 4 linebackers they're down this year.
And here's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Mississippi State and Auburn both do a lot of the misdirection in the run game and the play action and the eye candy to try to get you to bite down. How are they going to look now defensively with inexperienced linebackers who could very easily bite on some of these play actions or get caught on a reverse or get caught up in a counter play? It's going to be interesting to watch Mississippi State and Auburn go up against Alabama.
Let me give you this stat line real quick for Jalen Hurts, okay? And I don't think this was all about LSU. 11 of 24, 183 yards passing and 1 touchdown. 14 carries, 44 yards, and a touchdown. He was their leading rusher. Calvin Ridley, 3 receptions, 61 yards. You eliminate Ridley, which I believe Clemson can do with a guy like Trayvon Mullen. Now, I think Clemson can eliminate Ridley. It would be a heck of a battle at that point, because then you're saying, essentially, who are you going to beat us with? You think Clemson's defensive line can't get after Alabama's offensive front the way LSU does? Are you kidding me? You think Dexter Lawrence and those guys aren't licking their chops for a moment like that?
Alabama looks a lot more beatable than they did 2 weeks ago.
You're doggone right. You're going to find out a little bit more about how beatable they are over the next couple of weekends. 803-978-1832. The Crimson Tide remain number one in both the AP and the coaches poll. Number two in the college football playoff rankings. We'll find out where they are tomorrow night about this time. Stay with us.
Listen to what our customers say about their pit stop.
Well, my 15-month-old is a handful, and I love chasing him around. His dancing is hysterical. We drink lots of bottled water, and the pit stop has Dasani water on sale for a 20-ounce for 99 cents. That's an awesome price. I specifically come here because it's close, convenient, and the workers are very friendly.
Want convenience without compromise?
Don't stop till you're at pit stop.
It's engagement season, and that means it's time for the biggest bridal show of the year, the 1047 WNOK Bridal Expo on January 7th. If you're in the wedding industry, this is your opportunity to meet hundreds of engaged couples, showcase your services, and enjoy networking with other wedding pros. Most importantly, book business. Sunday, January 7th at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Presented by Columbia Bridal Associates, Carolina Bride Magazine, Hilton Columbia Center, American Floral, and Southern Way Catering. Reserve your space today at bridecityshows.com. That's bridecityshows.com.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Heading into the holidays, everyone could use a little extra cash in hand.
And what would you like?
So we're giving you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand 16 times every weekday. Just listen to win $1,000 every hour. Weekdays between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Radio 1400. Your shot at $1,000 now. Text the keyword luck to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeart Radio info. Standard data and message rates apply. That's luck to 200-200.
I was trying to get it how I live. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. Get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, Lowell, the producer, Fox Sports Radio 1400 and iHeart Radio in the Midlands, Fox Sports Radio 1019, 1050 AM, Myrtle Beach and Conway. And that Alabama-LSU game was 24-10. South Carolina and Georgia 24-10. I know we got callers all over the phone line, so we're going to get to them in just a minute. But first, South Carolina, Georgia. I tell you what, I'll admit this about the Gamecocks, and I kind of agree with you, Lowell. I think Georgia got ahead in the second half and maybe put it in a little bit neutral, but South Carolina is a better ball club today, and it's some terrible news. They lose Deebo Samuel for the rest of the season. That was kind of expected previously, but now it's official.
No, silver lining, he will come back next season.
True. But South Carolina is a better football team on November the 6th than I ever assumed they would be. And that's just a fact.
Sure. It's I think I picked Georgia like 34-14, so I had a little more scoring than for both teams in that ball game than what happened. But
right,
South Carolina's been decent defensively. It's been the offense that's been their Achilles heel, and it was again on Saturday. They just couldn't move the ball consistently on Georgia. They really haven't moved the ball consistently on anyone this season. But the defense looked okay. It wasn't terrible. Now, probably shouldn't have talked any trash to Jake Fromm because Jake Fromm looked pretty good slinging the pill out there. But yeah, I thought they played pretty well. I think Georgia. There's a part of Georgia that kind of went into cruise control, but South Carolina hung in there.
Let me ask you this: is that game more concerning today, Tiger Nation, than it was in August? The matchup in Columbia, you'll have the stadium against you. You'll have a team in South Carolina that's bowl eligible. They're probably going to beat Florida. Florida is a nightmare. They're going to come in riding a couple of game winning streak, you would think. And they'll be an 8-win team coming into that game, looking to shoot Clemson right in the foot.
And I think there's a part of that helps Clemson in that you're not coming in against a 3-8 team like you were in 2015. You're coming in against a team that has 8 wins, and that if you don't play your best, they can beat you. So I think that sort of helps with Clemson's focus rather than 3-8. They're not a very good team. We're looking to the ACC championship in the playoffs.
O-line on the line with us, a Gamecock peeking over the fence. O-line, tough weekend for you, but I thought your guys fought hard, man.
I did too. But the motivation for that game at the end of the season should be what was it? 56 to 7.
Yeah, 56 to 7.
Yeah, that should be all the motivation they need. Hey,
good point.
All my thoughts and prayers go out to the small church in Texas and people that game just for no unearthly reason. There's no way that a guy. I've owned guns all my life. I got my first shotgun when I was 12 years old. I didn't buy it, but it was basically mine. Responsible ownership and everything. Somebody that's been discharged from the Air Force has domestic abuse, child abuse, cracked his first wife's kid's skull. Should never be able to buy anything, even a BB gun. It amazes me how we can become so stupid trying to protect our rights to own guns. And there's no way that a guy that meets up with a couple guys that he's working at UPS and they talk him into going deer hunting, and he should be able to go down and get a deer rifle and go deer hunting that Friday afternoon. But somebody with that kind of past should not be able to purchase a dang gun, and I just don't understand how we're so stupid that we let that happen. And everybody wants Bama until they get them.
Yeah, you might be right. Well, at least Clemson got them last year, though. O-line, I appreciate it, and I want to reiterate about the situation in the state of Texas. And I think the saddest part of the whole thing is that the conversation about life becomes a political debate, and that's what's so disappointing, that we can't see just the it's just sad. I don't really have a whole lot. I hate it. I really do. I wish there was a better way. I wish we could fix some of the issues we have, but until we're willing to look in the mirror, like we were saying about Dave Doran, these are the circumstances that we're going to continue to deal with. And as I told a colleague earlier today, I said we can continue to deny how these issues come about and what happens in our focus and everything. And I certainly don't have all the solutions and don't claim to. But until we are willing to truly address the issues, it's going to eventually happen to somebody you know. It's going to eventually happen to a family member, somebody you care about. You can't discount the fact that I think two of the largest mass murders in terms of shootings have happened in the past month in our country. And again, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I think we have to be more diligent in looking into what we can do. And I mental health is a part of it. Responsible gun ownership is a part of it. The types of handguns that are available is a part of it. And assault weapons that are available is an absolute part of it. I don't pretend to know all the solutions. I support the right to bear arms. But there's obviously more that has to be done. I don't know how you could look at it and not think that. I don't know. I mean, I just can't do it. 803-978-1832 is the number. And again, not trying to politicize the program by any means, but I just felt we have to do more. As a country, we have to be a better people. We have to be a smarter, wiser people. And until we're willing to do that, I don't know what the solutions can be. I don't know what those solutions are. I wish I did, but I don't. Tar Hizzle, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
Hey, man.
I tell you, like I said, my hearts and prayers go out to them. I don't think there's a perfect solution. I mean, obviously, a lot of people got killed with a vehicle the other day. I mean, what are you going to ban cars now? I mean, it's a tough situation that you can't put your arms around, because when somebody wants to cause harm, unfortunately, in this world, they're going to get their opportunity, and you can't really deny it. You can only hope to contain it, dissolve it, and put that threat down as quickly as possible to where other people don't get injured or hurt. My thoughts and prayers go out to them, but unfortunately, it isn't just guns. What if he'd ran a truck through the building? I mean, there's a million different ways he could have caused harm by whatever freak crazy way he wanted to do it. It's just a matter of punishing those that want to cause harm in a manner that they don't want to do it anymore. Because if they want to cause harm, they're going to figure out a way to cause it, regardless of the weapon or the vehicle or the instrument they choose to do it with. So thoughts and prayers go out to them, and hopefully we can come up with better solutions and, I guess, punishment to those that continue to want to cause harm to others in a manner that will make somebody think twice before they want to go do it. But that's where I'll leave that one. Also, I want to get back to football. Obviously, I missed the boat. I did obviously say they can cover the spread. South Carolina let me down. I mean, they kick an onside kick. All they got to do is drive down. They shut the whole crowd up. No, they got to go miss a lone field goal. Absolutely horrible. Gamecock Nation.
Be quick, Tar Hizzle. Be quick.
Disappointed. My other thing is this. I can't believe that Lowell mentioned Alabama looking beatable. They do not look beatable. They ain't been beat yet. They ain't been close to getting beaten, and they ain't gonna lose to no Syracuse either. I'm just saying.
All right, man. Hey, we gotta hit this break, man. Appreciate it. Stay with us.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
At OPEX Columbia, we aim to inspire, empower, and challenge individuals to reach their highest potential. We take this mission very seriously and sincerely desire to help people achieve the goals they set out for themselves. OPEX Columbia is where you will excel no matter what your goal, whether that be health and wellness, body composition, or being a competitive athlete. We are conveniently located downtown across from the South Carolina Baseball Stadium. Contact us at opexcolumbia.com and mention this ad to receive 10% off your 3-part assessment.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Now today's forecast from the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center.
Tonight's going to be a warm one with lows dipping down only to the mid-60s with thickening clouds. Tomorrow, off and on showers, some of them heavy, but it will be warm. The highs upper 70s. For Channel 25, ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. If you're involved in youth or high school sports, you need to know about Positive Coaching Alliance. PCA is a national nonprofit organization developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. For more information, visit positivecoach.org.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 college football national champion, Clemson Tigers.
It is the show that shakes the Southland. Lawton Swan, Lowell, the producer. Appreciate the phone calls. A lot of talk about college football. Alabama hadn't been tested yet. Alabama not going to be beaten. I don't know if I agree with that. They hadn't played Clemson yet, have they?
Not yet. Look, when I say they look beatable, it's the first time this year, other than Texas A&M, because I think Texas A&M did it to an extent, but it's the first time this year that their offense looks human, in which they didn't just march up and down the field on LSU's defense or A&M's defense.
And I'm not overly convinced that their offense has looked great because they've played better than equal talent. I think they've played a lot lesser talent.
Right.
I mean, you run through their schedule.
They've
up until this LSU game, it's a laughing stock.
They've been able to line up and push anybody anywhere they wanted to go. And when you go up against an LSU who, look, they're not as good as they have been in recent years, but they still recruit 4- and 5-star talent on that defense. And they didn't push LSU around in that ball game. Alabama had to work for their scores.
Jeremy joins us in the upstate out on his evening walk, I assume, a little after dark tonight, though, with the time change. Jeremy, what's up?
What's up, Swan? Well, first off, I'm going to think, should they vote to put UMass in the SEC, considering the trouble they gave South Carolina last year, and then the trouble that they just gave, wasn't it Mississippi
State? They had them a little.
See, that's my only reason to think. I thought, too, I kind of agree with Lowell that Fitzgerald could give them a little bit of trouble. Dude, freaking UMass.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Really?
I saw that.
Yeah, go ahead and move them to the SEC, and they'll have some good battles and wear each other out. But anyway, Dabo, he's already, in my opinion, this guy has done his greatest coaching job since he's been at Clemson. I mean, this is incredible. I wanted this year to be relaxing. I really did. After winning the Natty, I was like, you know what? I did. I told my good friend, and we all agreed it was like a little pact. You're like, you know what, guys, next year, go tailgate. We're hanging out and doing all this stuff. We're not going to worry about it. Think, dang it, Dabo, you won't stop winning, man. The guy won't stop winning.
We're just going to relish the national championship for a year. Okay, I'm feeling it.
I did. After sitting here and just having fingers crossed, and I'm 40 years old, and just hoping and praying to get to 6-5 or, dear God, 8-3 and make it to the freaking Peach Bowl.
Right.
Oh my God, it was time to have a parade. But Dabo's done it. It's the best is yet to come, man. The best is yet to come. And you talked about the last game of the year. Nah, they're gonna push their stuff in Columbia. I'm telling you. Just like Lowell said a few minutes ago, it's probably best for Clemson that. It's best for Clemson that they've got I get kind of poking the bear. They've got their attention. I don't think they'll take care of Florida State early. I think it's going to be a probably beginning of the fourth quarter game. I think they'll win by 10. Having said that, I would love to get this over with at early third quarter. get Dexter Lawrence, Kendall Joseph, all these guys out, have 2 weeks to prepare. Heck, I wouldn't even play Joseph or Lawrence against the Citadel, especially with the blocking and stuff, them running the option too. But that's all I got, man. But yeah, man, the dude just won't stop winning. So he's a pretty good cheerleader.
He's done pretty well. He's done pretty well.
You know, it's funny he says that because before the season, the conversation that my dad and I would have was, look, we got a natty. We're good, man. No matter what happens this season, we're good. We're gonna relax. We're gonna enjoy the season.
Right.
We got a championship. We can wait a year or two for another one. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, here we go again.
Yeah, make a run at it. And the great thing about the college football playoff is you just get in, get a chance. Just get in and get a chance. Hollywood's on the line. This is going to be interesting because I know Hollywood is not satisfied with his Gators this year. Hollywood, what's up?
Hey, Swanee, what's going on? I'm still a Florida Gator. I'm winning 100%.
Yeah.
Win or lose, I am a Gator. But we have lost 4 games in a row. I can't remember the last time the Florida Gators lost 4 games in a row. That being said, it won't be 5. It will not be 5. We're coming down to Columbia.
Yeah.
And we're going to smack them dead in the mouth. Because you know what, Swanee, the good thing about it, all we got to do is score 12 points because they can't score no more than 10.
Hollywood, what happened against Missouri? I saw some of that game. What happened? Is that just the whole shift in coaches?
I've never seen a football team absolutely quit.
God, you got so much talent.
In that Georgia game. A lot of talent. And for them to quit like that, nah, that's not a Florida Gator. That is not a Florida Gator football team.
I know it's been a tough season for you, man. Hey, I appreciate the phone call. Glad to hear from you, and glad to know you're doing well. What do you think, real quick? What do you think about the Tigers? How are they doing this year?
Tigers doing okay. All you got to do is just get in.
Yeah.
Just get in. That's all that matters. Get in the playoffs.
I hear you. Just get into the playoffs.
Whether you're 1, 2, 3, or 4, as long as you're in, you're all the same.
There we go. Hollywood, part of the program tonight. Let's see. Joe joining us here. Phone lines are hot an hour or two. Joe, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
All right. I will say this, that it's excellent job that they have done. I don't know who's calling those plays, whether Dabo's interfering or what. We have 2 dynamic running backs. We spend too much time trying to make Kelly Bryant out of a passer. I said it last year when I called your show, you cannot turn an option quarterback into a drop-back passer. It will not work.
Right.
It won't work. Cordell Stewart tried it and worked, and a lot of them before him. It never works. I mean, we're making the best of what we have, but they better get Hunter Johnson ready some kind of way if you want to complete the task that you have in front of you.
Ooh.
Bad kicking game and a bad passing game don't equal too many wins doesn't equal a lot of wins with the teams we play. But when you get in there with those guys going to stack the line of scrimmage, Kelly's missing too many passes, man.
Yeah.
And even when he connect, they jumping. They can't run without it. They leaning backwards. They reaching. They diving. And the ball is getting hit. Hunter about to run out of bounds on the down and out before he has to slow down and the defense catch up with it. I mean, we can sit here and bury our head in the sand, but they got to be able to see that. And why don't we just throw short passes to the running back? And we ran Feaster 7 times. NC State and Syracuse running defense against the run was horrible. And we didn't even choose to do that against Syracuse with a bag-up quarterback. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, who's calling these plays? You know, I know we're winning, and I'm thankful. That's all we want to do is win. But, boy, we are sure making it hard to watch sometimes. We really are.
Joe, I appreciate the phone call. Good insight there. We've got a break coming up. We got other callers on hold. I believe Shadow of Death Valley's on hold. Lowell, the conversation shifts in hour number 2 to Alabama, and all of a sudden we've got a college football debate going on here in the playoffs in Clemson. More of that when we return, plus a short drive down the ferry, Chevrolet Cadillac in Orangeburg for the College Sports Corner.
Heading into the holidays, everyone could use a little extra cash in hand.
And what would you like?
So we're giving you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand 16 times every weekday. Just listen to win $1,000 every hour. Weekdays between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Radio 1400.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
This is Bob. Bob is going to shop for a diamond. Bob finds a diamond online that's a few $100s cheaper than a local store. Bob is so happy he's saved himself some money. This is Mary.
Hello.
Mary's dating Bob. Bob comes over to Mary's house and pops the question. Mary squeals.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening.
And then says,
Wait, what's wrong with this diamond? It's yellow and has spots.
Bob is shocked. Mary runs away, never to be seen with Bob again. The moral to this story, don't be Bob. When you want the right diamond to pop the question for the love of your life, shop Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse. Our consultants are trained to help you through the diamond buying process. They'll educate you so you can make the most important jewelry purchase of your life with confidence. Our goal is for you to find the perfect diamond that she'll cherish forever. And that's how you make sure your story has a happily ever after ending. Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse, for life's every moment. Don't be Bob.
We've reached it. The point where the only way to make Tuesdays any better is by having more boneless wings. That's why here at Buffalo Wild Wings, we've invented Boneless Tuesdays. It's a celebration where if you order boneless wings at full price, you'll get another of the same size for free. This works for dine-in or takeout. Every little bit counts. And on Tuesdays, every boneless wing counts as two. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Prices and participation vary. Valid only on Tuesdays while supplies last. Tax and gratuity extra. Additional restrictions apply. See participating location for details.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
It is the show that shakes the Southland. Dick Addy just came in here a few minutes ago. Handed me 2 sets of these 1990 collegiate collection cards, if you're watching. The old Clemson, Georgia. That might be the matchup in the national championship this year, Lowell. Little Clemson handed Herschel Walker his only regular season loss in 3 years at Georgia on September 19, 1981.
That's phenomenal.
The Tiger defense forced a single-game record 9 turnovers. Good gracious. 9 turnovers? And held the vaunted Bulldog offense to 255 yards total offense. And, most importantly, no touchdowns. Perry Tuttle caught an 8-yard touchdown pass from Homer Jordan in the second period for the only touchdown of the game. Donald Ikwe booted a pair of field goals. Danny Triplett and Jeff Davis registered 11 tackles apiece to lead the Clemson defense. The Clemson victory over the defending national champions and fourth-ranked Bulldogs propelled Clemson to its own national championship in 1981. This from the Collegiate Collection, 1990. Got one set here in the box. And then check this for the people watching. Got this set unopened. If you want some of these, email me. I'll help Dick out a little bit. Email me, Lawton@ClemsonSportsTalk.com. I think he's trying to sell some of those, so I don't mind helping him out. Lowell, do we still have a Shadow of Death Valley? I believe he was next on the line. Do we know? We'll find out. Yeah, Shadow of Death Valley. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Swanee? What's up, Lowell? Hey, well, real quick, I appreciate what you said about the shootings in Texas. Let me just say this real quick, and I'll get off of it. Just because somebody can get inside a truck or a car and mow down people doesn't mean that we shouldn't make it as hard as possible for these idiots to get their hands on assault rifles. Okay, that's just common sense. So I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, hey, real quick on the Carolina thing, it's going to lead into a college football playoff comment. Let's look, Swanee. You asked, should we be more worried? Let's check who they've played recently, and even on the defense, all right? Carolina's offense is still one of the worst in the entire nation. So defensively, they're like middle of the pack in the country.
Yeah.
But, dude, this is who they've played recently. Texas A&M, terrible offense, coach about to get fired. Arkansas, terrible offense, coach about to get fired. Tennessee, terrible offense with their backup quarterback and coach about to get fired. Vanderbilt, and then they played Georgia, who we all know, Jake Fromm, no one knows if he can complete a forward pass on a regular basis, okay? And so I knew Georgia would play a tight game with Carolina because that's what they do, regardless of record, every year. And plus, Georgia's got their real rival, Auburn, coming up this weekend. So I was expecting that. But here, that leads into my feeling on the college football playoff. You know, people talking about Kelly Bryant having struggles, and he did on the deep pass the other night. You know, he's got to clean that up. But he also made some great plays. Swanee, the top 3 teams ahead of us right now, none of them can pass the ball. None of them have a polished quarterback who has demonstrated the ability to move the ball downfield through the air. So, I mean, in some respects, I agree, and I think you kind of alluded to it. I'll take my chances if we get in the Final Four and have one of those super one-dimensional teams. At least we got Kelly who can run around and scramble and make something out of nothing.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think we're afraid of Bama. I don't think we're afraid of Georgia or Notre Dame because none of those teams. To me, Kelly Bryant has the highest ceiling, and I'm just talking about this season. I don't know, Jake Fromm's just a freshman, but I'm saying I have seen Kelly Bryant go down the field. I've seen him throw deep outs on a rope. I've seen him make great plays with his arm. Saturday night was just not his night, and yet he still made some great plays with his legs and scrambling and throwing the ball on third down. I think about Deion Kane on that scramble in the second half. That was a wonderful play.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
that was a great throw.
There's still plenty of time for Kelly. He's got to get his mind right, and I don't know if he was just jacked up the other night because they were just sailing. But he's making the right reads. He's not putting the ball in jeopardy, and there's still plenty of time for him down the stretch to bring back some of those passing plays that he was making the first part of the season.
Appreciate the phone call, Shadow of Death Valley. He's right in a lot of respects.
Well, let's remember this about Kelly Bryant. He started 9 games so far in his career. 9. He has 9 starts under his belt. He's he may be a junior, but he's still a youngin' in terms of experience.
Right, like by comparison, Jalen Hurts has a lot more experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look, he's going to get the rest of this season, and then he's probably going to get next season. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's the starting quarterback next season.
I think the goal next season will be to start Kelly Bryant. It will be to figure out how to convince Trevor Lawrence to redshirt.
Yeah.
and I think it'll be to play Hunter Johnson. So you put separation between Johnson and Lawrence. Then as a redshirt freshman versus a true junior, Lawrence and Hunter Johnson battle it out.
I mean, we know Kelly Bryant can make these throws. It's about getting repetition after repetition, week after week, getting on the same page as your receivers, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to click, and he's going to start hitting on those throws again.
Well, he was off early. I thought he played very well late. I thought he hit on a couple of big passes. It doesn't hurt that he has some guys. As criticized as people have been, or as critical as people have been of Deion Kane, I thought he showcased his hands in this game.
Deion looked good. And look, Kelly Bryant had, he missed some of those deep throws. He had 2 touchdowns where he put the ball on the money. One to Ray McLeod, one to Deion Kane, where the defender just grabbed the receiver because they got beat. They were going to be touchdowns, and they got wiped out by pass interferences.
Yeah, he underthrew Travion Thompson. Talk about a missed interference.
Oh, yeah, that one was bad. But I mean, he
come on.
Yeah. But he had 2 that he put on the money, and
Yeah.
if they are not interfered with, they are walking into the end zone.
By the way, I'm not just talking about the pass was bad. The
interference was
the
awful.
No call?
It was terrible.
That was horrible. But you know what? That's part of the game.
Yep.
Refs miss calls. They miss calls.
I'm not going to be Dave Doran and complain about the officiating.
Or the laptop. I've had a laptop over here the whole show, Lowell.
I think we need an investigation into that.
Well, we've got a article up right now. You want to read it and have some fun over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com before we get out of here this evening. It's called, and our Sandra Sullivan, who's on the scene, Control-Alt-Delete. Clemson much further ahead of NC State off the field than on it. Go over there and read that article right now. Lowell, man, good to see you. That Clemson Sports Talk polo looks sharp.
Repping. Got to rep.
You may have to come over here and rep it for the people.
I may wear the other one tomorrow.
I'm repping the national championship swag. I'm feeling good about myself right now. Until tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. For Lowell, the producer, I'm Lawton Swan. As always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian